what's happening. So I created this Word document to hopefully help out or make it a little bit more clear for people trying to get into Chia mining or Chia farming. So I created this little document here, and I just want to kind of go through some of the basics. So this is going to be more of like a hardware selection guide to kind of understand a little bit better how to put a computer together or a server together to start plotting or Chia farming. Okay, so the main thing, so if you're going to be building a computer, you're going to need a OS drive, which I call the farm operations. And this can be either this would be your primary hard drive. This could be an SSD drive. It could be a SATA drive. Doesn't make a difference. The speed is not critically important here, but I mean, you should pretty much be running an SSD drive at this point. There's no reason to run the older hard drives. SSD drives are cheap, so might as well get one of those. But so this is actually where your OS is going to be. Like on a Windows drive, it would be like a C or C drive. It could be also Linux or Mac OS. So this is actually a dedicated drive only for your OS and the applications. So the next thing is the Chia application. So this is the application you download from Chia, and this houses like the the plotting software, the private key, and everything associated with plotting. So all right, so like I said, it could be an SSD, it could be SAS drive, SSD, whatever. Like I said, the SSD twice, but all right, so this is the primary dedicated drive, which kind of is like your brain or your operations of your farm. So everything coming and going from your farm operations comes through this one C drive, where your Chi application is right here. Okay, so the next thing is, which was kind of confusing at first, it was kind of hard to figure out. I was reading all those documents and trying to figure out like what the hell they're talking about. But the plotting drive, or you want a dedicated drive for plotting. So think of plotting as like a tractor, like you're mowing the fields, you're creating the product, and you want a device that can actually handle what you're trying to do. So, you don't want a big plow with a small tractor. So it needs to be equivalent to what you're trying to do, or the amount of plotting that you're trying to create. So you're not going to buy a home user tractor to farm 1,000 acres. So you need to basically have a drive that is actually suitable for the amount of plotting that you want to do. Farming, plotting, what do you want to call it? So this actually needs to be a dedicated drive. So typically what they call it like a temporary storage, or where you're going to be actually creating the plots. And I mean, sometimes they use the term swap in Linux, but this is actually a dedicated hard drive that you actually want for just basically creating these plots. Faster the better. Obviously, if you could do like M2, PCI 4.0, that would be actually a lot better and faster. But the problem with SSD drives is they actually wear out. There's only a limited amount of writes that you can do to an SSD drive before they fail. So if time is not of the essence, I'd probably maybe go with a SAS drive. So a SAS drive is actually similar to a SATA drive, but it stands for Serial Attached SCSI. And that's actually what a lot of the servers used in the past. I know they're actually moving over to SSDs now, but a SAS drive is actually a magnetic platter drive, like the old style hard drive. But those actually will last a lot longer if you're not if you have time to spare while you're creating these plots. I'd probably go with SAS because it will last a lot longer than SSD drive. And not all SSD drives will work here. If you buy like one of those little home user SSD drives, they're going to wear out fast and they're going to fail. So you want a commercial grade SSD if you're going to be going the SSD route. All right, and the last part is the plot storage. So this is actually where the plots are created, or this is actually where they're stored, not created, but this is where they're stored, long-term storage. So once you've actually created the plots, then you actually have to store them. And this is actually where you have the large capacity hard drives, like 18 gig, 6 gig. Performance is not a big deal here because it's just there for storage. You're going to be having these huge files, typically about 100 gigabytes per file. And, like I said, performance is not an issue. So it's just, like here in the picture I have grain storage. But, like I said, it doesn't have to be, and also it doesn't have to even be stored on the local machine. So you could actually have some hard drives in the computer server, and have it locally connected, but also as long as the farm operations can communicate with the plot storage, uh, it will actually work. So this could be like a map drive on a different server or a different computer. This also could be like an external eSATA like drive array. It could be a storage area network, like Fiber Channel or like iSCSI. It could just be any sort of just a bunch of disks like drop or like array. Um, it could be like external USB drives. As long as actually this farm operation can communicate with it, then it'll work. So, so hopefully this clears up some of the confusion. Like I said, it's kind of hard to kind of figure out when you read the documents, but like I said, here you have your farm operations. This is the brain of the operation. This is your tractor. This is the dedicated drive that has to be super fast to create the plots, and this is the final storage. So, all right. Hopefully this document helps somebody. All right. Cool.